Welcome to the Illinois State Board of Elections educational series on Election Day procedures. Today's video is about poll watchers. What are poll watchers? Election observers who aid in ensuring the free and fair conduct of elections. Poll watchers may be in the polling place before the polls open, during voting hours, after the polls close, and during early voting. Poll watcher qualifications. A poll watcher must be a registered voter in the state of Illinois. So that means they don't have to be registered in the county or jurisdiction they are poll watching in, and they must be affiliated with a party, organization, or candidate they are representing. Who authorizes poll watchers? Poll watchers must have credentials issued by either the local election authority or the State Board of Elections. They must represent an established political party, a candidate, a qualified organization of citizens, a state nonpartisan organization, be an organized proponent or opponent of a ballot proposition, and also candidates can be poll watchers, but they will have separate credentials for candidates. It's important to note that poll watchers need separate credentials for each precinct they enter, even if there are multiple precincts in one polling place. The number of poll watchers allowed in a polling place at any one time is limited by law. A candidate may always appoint 2 poll watchers per precinct, while all other organizations may only appoint 1 poll watcher per precinct. The only exception to this is that an established political party may appoint 2 poll watchers per precinct at each general and consolidated election. If overcrowding interferes with the orderly conduct of the election, the judges of election may limit the number of poll watchers. The election judges may cause the removal of any poll watcher who is disrupting the election process. What are the rights of poll watchers? Before the first ballot is cast, poll watchers may observe that the ballot box is empty. Poll watchers may position themselves near enough to the election judges to examine the application for ballot, but should not be placed at the judges' stations. Poll watchers may observe as the judges compare the voter's applicant's signature on the application with the signature on the registration records. Poll watchers may watch as the judges initial and distribute the ballots to the voter and can observe the ballot box from a distance where the privacy of the voter is not compromised. Poll watchers may challenge a person's right to vote. A reason for the challenge must be stated. They also must be reasonable. Possible reasons include that the person voted early in the day, the person moved, or the person lacks qualifications. A reasonable challenge, for example, would be if they said, "I know that that person moved because they were my neighbor." However, if they are objecting to every other person that came in, they are not being reasonable, and the election judges can vote to choose to no longer accept their challenges, because they are being disruptive to the election process. The judges of elections determine whether or not to sustain the challenge. Poll watchers may observe the counting procedures after the polls close and at the central counting locations established by the election authority. These are some important facts to remember on Election Day. The judges of election are the sole authority in the polling place on Election Day. No person except a judge may touch or handle election supplies and materials. Election judges should also be the only ones talking to the voters. Poll watchers are official observers only. They may observe the conduct of the election before, during, and after the polls close. All poll watchers must present valid credentials upon entering the polling place. A law enforcement official may be present in the polling place to preserve order and carry out lawful direction given by the judges. Electioneering or any type of campaigning must not take place within the campaign-free zone, which is 100 horizontal feet from the entrance to the room in which voting is being conducted. Where ballots are counted in the office of the election authority, each political party, candidate, qualified organization of citizens, state nonpartisan civic organization, or organized proponent or opponent of ballot propositions shall be entitled to have 1 poll watcher for each panel of election judges. Poll watchers may come and go throughout the day by using the sign-in sign-out sheet. However, election judges should keep their credentials and return those credentials to the election authority at the end of the night. At no point should those credentials be returned to the poll watcher. Poll watchers should be permitted to observe all proceedings and view all reasonable requests related to the conduct of the election, providing the secrecy of the ballot is not impinged. Poll watchers may be appointed to observe early voting by personal appearance at each permanent and temporary polling place where early voting is conducted. If the election judges are experiencing trouble with poll watchers in the polling place, they should contact their election authority immediately.